Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Racha Kodash. Yahweh being the true, almighty, and powerful name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. And then, of course, his only begotten Son's name is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Ba'Hashem meaning in the name, Racha meaning spirit, and Kodash is holy. That, of course, is what I uttered in the Paleo Hebrew, which is the language of the Israelites, which consists of the so-called Negros, Latinos, or Native Americans, who only salvation is allotted to. Of course, on this side, the elect of them, the chosen of the chosen nation, which is Yashala, which is Israel, all right, who will, of course, go through perilous times, all right, to enter, of course, the kingdom, which we can clearly see here. Of course, I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone Well. And peace and salutation to all sincere Achim that are out there, of course, risking their lives and freedom to bring out this Amath, this truth, all right? Brother Amath put Great Millstone Plain Tables Camp located here in Great Babylon. Coming again with another update. What's going on, of course, in the world, which, of course, most major outlets refuse to report on. Okay, we're talking about your mainstream media, which is owned, of course, by pretty much the Jews, all right, fake Jews, that is, Slakia, all right, the Khazars, those ones, of course, that are dwelling in Israel, which claim to be the Lord's chosen people, which are not, who don't fit the biblical prophecies at all. All right, so anyway, they, of course, try to keep people out of the loop, and they don't let you know what the times is here that we're going into, okay? And we're currently in. So without further ado, we're going to hit a couple of things. So right now, currently, this is off of Washington Post. It says truckers strike lead to fuel shortages in Brazil. This was published, let me see, on May the 24th, 2018, the year of prophecy, okay? You see an image here of a strike, okay, which I'm going to read. It says Sao Paulo, which is in Brazil, all right, which the Brazilians, so-called Brazilians, tribe of Asher, all right, they are Israelites, okay, and of course they have, of course, big hardship that's going on down there. So going on, it says a strike by Brazilian truckers backed up exports and caused fuel shortages Thursday as government tried to end the work stoppage before it caused more damage to Latin America's largest economy. Okay. So you, of course, had strike that occurred. It says Brazil economy runs largely on road transportation, and 4-day-old strike to protest rising diesel prices was beginning to have serious consequences, with highway police reporting blocked roads in nearly all Brazil's states. It says the airport in the capital of Brasilia, it says, was only allowing planes to land that were carrying enough fuel to take off again. The stopgap measure hadn't resulted in any flight cancellations, but it was unclear how long it would continue before companies would have to ground planes. The Civil Aviation Authority and Airport Authority said they were monitoring fuel or petrol supplies carefully. Long lines formed at gas stations, and some ran out of some kinds of fuels. In Rio de Janeiro, only about 2/3 of the city buses were running Thursday, according to Rio Unibus, which represents the companies that run the various lines, which I believe today, currently, there's no buses running, okay? Which I believe you'll see on Dabu 7's page, who's another alternative media outlet who reports on things that are going on in the world, which the mainstream media refuses to acknowledge or refuses to really cover 100% to the public. It says local media reported food shortages and rationing in some supermarkets. An association of supermarkets in Brazil South warned that perishable food would run out in the days if strike did not end. The association says stores on average have a 15-day of dry goods, but fresh food would run out or spoil before then. Okay, so all you need is a major strike, or the of course the trucks be cut off, and there you have a famine that can bust out easily. And this is of course in the scriptures, in which I'm going to hit a couple precepts, edify, and close out. So we're gonna get into this. So this is going to be Proverbs. We're gonna go to the 14th chapter, and we're going to go to the verse. That'll be verse 16. Proverbs 14 and 16. A wise man feareth and departeth from evil. What is that? Evil. Evil meaning bad times. All right. But the fool rageth and is confident. And that's what, of course, you have here. A lot of people in this world, of course, are very confident. They don't see the world, economies crashing. They don't see the bigger picture, which Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is, of course, have this place going down. Esau, which is a so-called white man, his kingdom is going down. He's losing his rulership, in which, of course, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the Lord, the Most High, and his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, of course, is going to bring them out of power and bring, of course, the Israelites into power. And that's what times we're in. Okay. So the Israelites, which consist of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans, they are the new future rulers that are coming. All right. And they're going to be ruling, all right, over this world. Okay. Which you can read here in, of course, 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter. All right. Right there. At right here, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world. Esau is the so-called white man. All right. The biblical Edomites. All right. Esau is their forefather. All right. And they're the wicked. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay. So that's the Israelites. All right. Starting, of course, by the elect. All right. So I'm going to skip down now. Of course, to this verse 22. And it reads, I must go at 18. It says, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and visit them that dwell upon the earth. So the Lord, of course, is visiting the earth through all of these different curses, which he, of course, is letting free. Okay. Letting loose, releasing. All right. Upon the people to bring forth Mashapat. All right. Judgment. All right. Verse 22. Skipping down, it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay, which I've covered. All right, you only have, of course, a certain amount of time in which food supplies are depleted. Okay, when your perishables, your meats and such that need to be refrigerated. All right. The people buy them out. There ain't no more meat, no more truckers coming in. You only got dry goods. People buy out that. You have a famine. Okay, a dire situation. So here, this is off of undergroundworldnews.com, and it says dire situation in Brazil as gas runs out and tensions rise. Which this was, of course, published the 24th. All right. Which is currently the 25th. All right. So if you see in the current videos, You can watch the video on your own. You'll see images of a high concentration of people at these gas stations, which they have no. They said about what a day's worth of fuel. Okay, which it has here says dire situation in Brazil as gas runs out and tension rises. The mass gas shortage in Brazil is spreading. Locals are waiting in super long lines to get whatever gas they can. It seems MSM are not really saying too much about what is happening. All right. It says if you have any info, you could let Double 7, but I'm not gonna read on that. But you have here just some images. You could watch the video. I suggest you go to his channel. You could see more images and such. I'm not going to play the video here in this video. But, you know, this, of course, has been written and prophesied in the scriptures, in which this is, of course, going to trickle down to America eventually. This is going to be the sight of America and worse. Okay, so let's go now to 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter, starting at the 17th verse, and it reads, "Woe is me." This is Esdras, meaning destruction. All right, woe is destruction. All right, is me. Woe is me. Woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? All right. Which the days that are coming are going to be very harsh. Okay, you know, there's places that right now are as Brazil is going through a lot of tribulation, bad times. All right, evil. All right, it says, verse 18: the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, and the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. For all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of their scourges. Behold, victuals shall be good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Even shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And that's what we have here before you today. You know, people think that certain stores is open, everything's certain places still okay. Well, everything's gonna crash eventually. Okay. Thus said Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. What the scriptures here, of course, speak and say. All right. So the best thing that you should do, of course, is flee from your own wicked ways, you Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. And return to your power. All right. Because the times, this ain't nothing to be playing with. All right. Famine and not having gas and not be able to go to your job, not be able to really maintain existence, really. So anyway, I'm gonna go back to Proverbs, the 14th chapter, and back to start back at the 15th verse. Proverbs 14 and 15 says, "The simple believe every word, but the prudent man looketh well in his going." And the wise man, of course, will look at this truth that's being told and hearken onto it. All right. It says a wise man feareth and departeth from evil, but the fool rageth and is confident. Because if you trust in, of course, in man, all right, you're gonna, of course, meet a very unfortunate end. All right, because the so-called white man doesn't have your best interest at hand. Okay, he's seeing, of course, his kingdom come down, and he's going to bring down everybody else with him. That's his intention. With the RFID microchip. All right, he has, of course, a plan to, of course, bring all governments under a new world order, and which is here in the scriptures. All right. You know, that's just what it is. Okay, I'm gonna leave off and close out with one last verse. This is Proverbs 15. You know, skip one chapter over. I'm not gonna make this long. I wanted to, but you know, we're gonna leave it simple and to the point. Okay. Right here, this is Proverbs 15:9. It says, "The way of the wicked is an abomination unto Yahweh." Now, Yahweh is the Most High's name, which means He exists. All right. But He loveth him that followeth after righteousness, which is, you're going to follow the law, statutes, commandments, all right, which He gave, as written in these scriptures. Follow the true teaching of what Yahweh B'Shem Yashai has wrote, and which broken down by the prophets here at Great Millstone. Have the proper understanding, all right, of the scriptures. All right, it says, verse 10, "Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof," which is correction, "shall die. Hell and destruction," which hell, that's the grave. All right, shot a wall in the Hebrew. All right, "and destruction are before the Lord. How much more than the hearts of the children of men?" All right, that's a question. All right, so, you know, hearken unto this truth if you're an Israelite. More bad times is coming. Evil is coming. All right, that's said the scriptures. With that, I'm gonna say, "Call Elohim la Yahweh B'Shem Yashai B'Hashem Ruach HaKodesh." Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, who were well. Peace and salutation to all sincere Achim that are, of course, fighting day in, day out, bring out this truth. All right, Shalom. And again, just to say, dire situation in Brazil as gas runs out and tensions rise. All right, which that bring forth more instability. All right, Shalom.